Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Ethical Cruise. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install DEM Vulnerable Web Application or DVWA on Kali Linux. I have Kali Linux already installed on my virtual box. Okay, so let's start. I'm inside this VM. This is having this Kali Linux operating system already. So I'll first of all let's Google DEM Vulnerable Web Application. So I'll just open Google and we'll type DVWA GitHub page. Okay, so this will be the first link which will come to us, and we will just click on this. What we have to do now, first of all, we have to clone this particular repo into our system. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go to this code, I'll copy this, open a terminal. Okay, let's zoom it a little bit. So that's my present directory. What we have to do, we have to go to that where www html folder. So what I'll do, I'll go to where www then html folder. Okay, so this is my current folder director. So what I will do, I will list down all the contents which are present inside this html folder. So I'll just press ls minus l and it will give me the contents. There are two files which are already present, so we can just ignore those two files. Okay, and I'll just clone my repo here. So it is just cloning it. Now we can see that it has been cloned. Okay, I'll again select on the content of this folder. So I can see there is one directory which is added, that is DVWA. Okay, now what we will do, what I will do, I'll just increase the permission of this particular directory. Okay, so ch for this we'll use this ch mode -r 777 dvwa. Okay, and if I list down this dvwa file again, we can see that this directory is having now all the permissions that is needed. Okay, rws. Okay, now let's see. Go to this web browser and we'll open the local host into our browser. Okay, so as we can see this, when I press the local host, it shows us the default Apache 2 Debian default page. Okay, this is because the Apache 2 server is all might be running, that's why it is rendering as the default page. Let's now try to go to dvwd directory. Okay, so it's not going to that particular directory. This is because it might be using this, going to this https connection. So let's see, let's try to move the http. Okay, it's again going to that. So let's do one thing. Let's stop the service Apache DB, Apache 2, stop. Okay, now we will start it again. Okay, now let's try to load this again by removing this as. Okay, now that has been loaded. Okay, so as we can see, this is the line which we are getting. DVWA system error, config file not found. Copy config inc.php distribution to this particular file and configure to your environment. Okay, so first of all, our download step of dvwa has been completed. We have cloned the git repository and we have stored it inside this html folder. So that was the first part. Now the second part is basically of configuring this dvwa so that we can make it run. Okay, now we will go to inside this dvwa folder and we'll have to go inside this config folder because it is saying us to rename this, basically to copy this file which is inside this config folder. That's why we will go inside the config folder, cd config. Let's clear the screen and we can see there is a file already present and we have to just copy this file and move it to different name. Okay, copy, and so that is the name which we have to enter. So this will be like we are just removing the distribution and we keeping this as a backup in case anything goes south, so we will be able to recover it. Okay, so let's just press enter. Now I'll again list down the contents. So we can see there is a file, PHP file, which is present now. Okay, that we have created. Okay, now let's go inside this file and see the changes which we have to do. So I'll just use the VI editor. And as you can see, this is basically a PHP file. Okay, and inside this PHP file, we can see there are configuration related to database which are present. So you can use either the default username password which is present, or you can change the username password whatever you need. So I just press I for to go into insert mode, and will change the username to admin, and will change it the password to password. We'll press escape colon WQ exclamation and close. So in this way, I have just modified this config file and have changed the username and password. Okay, this is the latest time duration at which I have modified the file. Okay, now let's go back to this again. Let's see if it is showing us this particular message or not. Okay, that has been changed, that has been removed, and also we can see that has been modified from DVWA to login.php. Okay, so let's try to go to setup.php page. Okay, we can see there is a database setup page already. Okay, so what we have to do first, we have to basically create a database. Okay, so for that, first of all, I'll start the MariaDB service. So now this will be a third part. Okay, first part, download of DVWA repo from GitHub, that is done. Second part, configuration of DVWA, that is done. Now the third part is configuration of database. Okay, so first of all, I'll start the service. Okay, I'll check the status of the service particular MariaDB status. Okay, now as you can see, this is an active running state. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll go inside the service. I'll press MariaDB. Okay, now I am inside this particular database. So let's go back to the original GitHub document to see what's the next step which we'll have to do. We will have to fire some command. We will have to create database, some users. So for the exact syntax, we can go to this official documentation and we can see from here. So I'll scroll down a little bit. We can see under this database setup that changes related to username password we have already done, and now we have to do, we have to just create the table. Okay, so I'll just copy this. Now I'll come here and I'll paste it. Okay, so what it has done, we have basically created a database, and the name of the database is DVWA, that is Dam Vulnerable Web Application. That's the shortcut which we have given. Now the second query which it was present here, this is the second query. Let's copy it. Copy, go to here, paste selection. Okay. One thing to note here is that we have to provide the username and password, whatever username password we have configured in that PHP file. Okay, since I have changed it to admin as my username, that's why I'll provide admin here as well. And since I modified the password as well, that's why I'll change the password here as well. Okay, so we can see we have created one database, and now we have created an user for that particular admin user. Okay, let's see what's the third query which we'll do. Here now we have, what we have to do, we have to just provide the permissions. Copy, just paste it, paste selection. Okay, so let's first understand what's the errors. So it is, what I've done, I've done grant all on tvwa.star to all this particular user at the local host. But if you remember, what we have done, we have created user admin at the local admin at the localhost, because this is our particular user and we are trying to provide DVWA here, so it will not work. So what I have to do, I have to just modify this particular username to my admin username which I provided. Okay, so now it is done. Now the next and the last query is this flush privileges. Okay, paste selection and it's done. Okay, now let's go back to this particular DVWA and just refresh it. Okay. Now I'll click on this particular create reset database, and once it's done, we can see that it is created. Database database has been created and everything has been created. And now it has redirected us to the login page. Okay. So when we are logging in, so the username password will be your username will be admin and your password will be password. Okay, I don't know why I didn't log in at the first time. So the username was admin and password was password. Okay. After that, you can see like this, your username is admin. You have logged in as admin. Your security level is impossible, local, English language, PHP ID is disabled, SQLite databases, MySQL. Okay. And if you want, you can go to this DBWA security level, and from here you can basically change your security levels. Okay. Now we have basically started a demo enabled web application, and now let's go to the setup page and let's see if we have completed everything or not. Okay, now we can see there are some red warnings which we can cater off, because if we need to use this application. Okay, so the only thing which we have to focus for now seems to be this particular one, that is PHP function allow URL included. Okay, because module GD, that is only be needed in case we will be playing with captchas. Similarly, the reCAPTCHA key is missing, that we will be needing in case of captchas only. Okay, so what we can do, we can just add this particular allow URL include and turn it off, turn it on basically. Okay, so for this, let's go to the etc file. First of all, let's exit out of this database. Okay, let's clear out the console. Now what I'll do, change my directory to etc php. Let's list down the contents present inside this php folder. I can see there is one directory 8.1. I'll go inside this directory. Now just again list down the content. I can see now there are three different directories, but what we will need is Apache 2. I'll just change into this directory, clear out my screen so that my console will be clear. Again, pressing ls minus l to list down the contents of the Apache 2 directory. Now I can see that php.ini direct file, which I needed. Okay, so I'll press vi, go to this php.ini file. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll just search for this allow URL include, which I needed to change. What I need to change, I have to change this. Basically, this is disabled and I have to enable it. So what I'll do, PHP function allow URL include. I'll search for this allow underscore URL underscore include. Okay, so let's press forward slash enter allow underscore URL underscore include. Press enter since we have find the search term. I press enter. Now I came to this particular position. I have to change this from off to on. Since I'm using this VI editor, I'll just press I to go into insert mode, change it from off to on. Now I've done the changes. Now I'll have to save this file and exit from this particular file. For this, what I'll do, I'll press enter, press colon WQ, that is to quit in the right mode, and I'll press escape button. Okay, so in this manner, our file has been changed. Okay, we have made the changes whatever we needed. So what I'll do next, I'll just restart my Apache service. Okay, service Apache 2 restart. Okay, let's check the status. It is in active, that is in running state. Now go back to this particular setup file, just refresh it, and we can see that that has been changed to enabled. Okay, so in case you need to work with captchas, similarly in this case you can just install this GD module and you will be able to configure it. Okay, let's see one of the vulnerability. If we are able to just, let's suppose I'm going to this file upload, and let's try to upload the simple file to see if we are able to upload the file or not. So I'll just go to this browse, I'll select this index.jpg. Okay, and just click on upload. So seems like this particular file is having some error, so it is not letting us install it. So what I'll do, I'll try to install one another file, that is index.jpg original, and see. Okay, again it is not letting me install. Your image was not uploaded. We can only accept jpg or png files. So we can know that whatever file, whatever we're trying to exploit, we are getting some meaningful message or error. Okay, in this manner, basically if you want, you can basically exploit it. Okay, let's suppose you want to go to some another vulnerability. Okay, let's suppose go to this xss dom. If you want, you can modify anything here, and you can just play around it with with this damn vulnerable application. In this similar manner, since this is a web application, it is, you can also see this view source button, and you can see the source code applied for this particular functionality. Like if I click on this view source, you can see this is an unknown vulnerability source compared it is present. Okay, go to this file upload again. If you want, you can check the view source here, and you can see the view upload file upload source code for all the levels. Okay, this is for impossible level, because security level which we have selected is impossible. Okay, let's suppose if I change it impossible to low, click on submit. Okay, now if I go to this file upload, I click on browse, select this index.jpg original, click on upload, and I can see that my file has been uploaded. So this is uploaded and is present inside this hackable uploads index.jpg underscore original successfully uploaded. Okay, so in this manner, there are different vulnerabilities which are present in this particular damn vulnerable web application. You can select whatever application, whatever vulnerability you want to explore more, and then you can exploit it, as well as can see the source code, how those vulnerabilities are implemented, how you can make it more strong. And in this manner you will be able to learn that. So yeah, that is all in the today's video. I hope you learned about like how you can install them whenever web application onto this Kali Linux, and then you can basically explore how you can be learn different vulnerabilities. Okay, please do like the video, share this video with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel Ethical Cruise. Also, you can visit my blogging website ethicalcruise.com, where you can learn more about security basis, footprinting, reconnaissance. Also, if you're interested, you can learn about AWS as well. Okay, so I'll see you all in the next video, and I will teach you all, I'll show you all something new related to this penetration testing, something related to tools installation. Okay, that's all. Thank you, everyone.